Hey everyone, I'm Ethan. Welcome back to a new video in this series where we're building a racing game based on cards. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, I really recommend checking them out first. In this episode, I want to give you a quick recap of what I've been working on this past week so we can go through the progress together and see how the project is evolving. So first of all, I added the Unity netcode for game objects package because I want this game to be fully online. I also installed the new building blocks package, which at first felt a bit confusing since I was used to the old workflow with Relay UI and mono behavior scripts. Now everything seems to be more centered around the new UI toolkit system. I'm not going to dive too deep into that right now though, we'll leave it for later. You might also notice that the lighting looks quite different now. That's because I switched from URP to hdrp. I didn't record that process, but honestly, it was pretty straightforward, and I wanted a more realistic lighting style for this project. One of the first gameplay-related things I worked on was the board itself. Since this is basically a racing game mixed with a board game, I needed visible grid cells on the track, so I asked Codex to generate a system for that. I needed the cells to be an actual mesh, so they're visible on top of the track, and I also asked for an optional TM Pro system to display the cell numbers. It generated everything pretty quickly. The mesh was a bit low poly at first, but that was easy to fix with a follow-up prompt after that. I created a system for constrained objects that follow the track, basically objects that automatically align their position and rotation to the track flow. This way I can place objects once, and if I later edit the track, everything updates automatically without me having to manually adjust transforms. Codex handled this perfectly in a single prompt. I told it to use the Unity MCP for validation and setup, and it worked exactly as expected. It even created an add-on for the racetrack system, where you get an empty object and anything you place under it becomes linked to the track. You can move those objects directly in the scene view or tweak them from the inspector, just like normal. While testing that system, I noticed a bug with the curves. At the start and end of the track, they weren't connecting properly. I mentioned it to Codex and it fixed it almost instantly. For now, I'm not going to actively use the constrained object system, but it will definitely be useful later. Right now, I want to focus more on the technical side and core mechanics so I can move faster with prototyping and testing. Next, I asked Codex to build a system for curve markers. Basically, I want to assign values to curves as part of the gameplay. For a bit of context, this whole idea is inspired by the board game Heat. It's a racing board game where you manage speed and heat, and it's honestly really fun. I highly recommend it. While playing it with friends, I thought it would be interesting to create a digital version inspired by it. Not exactly the same mechanics, but taking advantage of being a video game to add more complex and crazy systems. In that game, curves have speed limits, and if you exceed them, you get penalties. So with that in mind, I asked Codex to create a system where I can manually place these curve markers. Quick side note, Codex has been ignoring one of my instructions from the agent's MD file, where I ask it to always use the Unity MCP for setup instead of asking me to do things manually. This started happening after the last update, so something might not be linking correctly there. Anyway, after a few fixes, the system was working. Now I can place markers on curves, assign values to them, and I have gizmos to position them precisely between cells. And as you can see, if I modify the cells, the markers move along with them. While adjusting the cell width, I realized it would make sense to have a Boolean option to force the grid to always fit perfectly, so we don't end up with partial cells. So I asked Codex to add that, and there we go. Now, no matter how I scale things, the grid always keeps full cells with consistent sizing. At this point, the track generator is in a pretty solid state. So it was time to move on to the cars. I created a detailed prompt for a centralized system to manage the cars. The idea was to handle movement between cells, ensure cars are positioned correctly at the center of each cell, expose public functions for other systems to control movement, and animate the transitions between cells. I also asked for a temporary UI so I could test everything easily. I let it run in plan mode, and after a bit, everything was set up. We had buttons in the UI simple capsule placeholders for cars, and they were moving correctly between cells. One issue I noticed was that when moving multiple cells, the cars would stop at each intermediate cell instead of going directly to the destination. So I fixed that with another prompt. Then I noticed another problem with positioning. All cars were using the same center position. So when multiple cars landed on the same cell, they would snap and overlap awkwardly. So I decided to improve that by introducing lanes where cars automatically occupy free slots within a cell. And with a good prompt, that was solved on the first try. After that, I started looking for proper car models to replace the capsules. While searching, I found a pack from Kenny Assets. If you don't know this creator, I highly recommend checking them out. They make really clean and useful assets, and everything is CC0, so you can use it freely. If you like their work, you can also support them with a donation. I imported the models into the project and set up the materials. This part was actually funny, because right when I noticed Codex was still using cubes for the cars, and I was about to tell it to switch to the imported models, it figured it out by itself and updated them. Pretty impressive. I still had to tweak a few things in the prefab, since some references weren't assigned correctly, and I had to adjust scale and height because the cars were floating. But after that, boom, everything was working. Now we have actual cars in the game. Honestly, I think it's coming together really nicely, and we're moving pretty fast. So I'm going to leave it here for today. Remember that you can find the project files on my Patreon if you want to explore the project or check the source code. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.